Chicago, welcome into the Chicago Sports Podcast presented by
Honk, honk. I don't know where it is.
Goose Island, the official beer of CHGO. Find one of Goose's Chicago locations at gooseisland.com/locations. There we are. What's up, everyone? Kevin Kaduk,
That's weird.
head of content at CHGO. Joined, as always, by Kacy Standohar, Mark Carman, and behind the board is Lawrence Benedetto. We have a new setup here in Studio B.
I kind of like it. I'm into it.
Well, it's definitely better from a look, but it's new to me, even though it's the same thing.
I think we look shockingly professional.
Yeah, I got to do the same thing that you're all doing.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. You got to lean into it. I mean, you can sit up straight though if you like. You can just a little back flex. There it is.
We're gonna need the first.
I do think we need Carm to scoot a smidge to his that way.
You think I'm gonna go to the left?
Just a smidge.
I want you to be off the table, out of the frame, please.
that's
Like,
better.
is that a better situation there?
We don't need you to lean your leg all up in Casey's business, but that's
okay.
Okay, that's okay. That's just trying to get an angle here to communicate.
I think we're lucky right now that Kacy is small because otherwise it might be a little bit of a tighter fit.
Yes. You're welcome. I always have the middle seat in the car when you Uber places with a bunch of people and you're like, oh, we only have an Uber X. So you get in the middle because you're the tiny one. That's my life. Forever.
It's so hard to be you.
You never get a claim on shotgun.
Or Casey.
But that's the middle seat and they don't always have seatbelts. And I could fly through the windshield. So,
Well, that's not.
you know.
No, what?
Remember when we didn't have to wear seatbelts and it was so cool and you could just hang out and you could like drink in your car and
Smoke on planes.
You could drink in your car.
Smoke on planes.
What are you talking about? When was that?
Smoke in the 70s. You weren't here and I was barely here, but that's how it was. Like people, I don't know, somehow that popped on my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok feeds, like that we complained about that back in the day. Like everybody complains about something. Back then it was, a hard day work and come home. Why can't I drink a couple of Budweisers in my car on the way back? What's this country coming to? That's how it was back then. Make me wear a seatbelt, take away my freedom.
Well, come on. Now.
I remember
that was the take back then.
when I was growing up. My dad had a Datsun 280Z.
There it is.
And I don't know if you know, this is a two-seater car, but my brother and I would sit in the hatchback area, and in the hatchback area there was little little drawers or whatever, and they had like bars. So we would just hold on to the bar between our legs, and that was our seatbelt.
There you go.
Guys,
you go.
I don't know
I'm still
about
here.
any of this stuff. All I know is that you have to wear a seatbelt, and it
Thank
is
you,
the safe
Kacy.
thing to do. My grandma, though, used to be like, I'm not wearing that.
There it
She
is.
never wore it.
There was a lot of people holding out against seatbelt. I mean, there still are people who hold out against seatbelts.
I think for her, it was that she thought that was going to kill her if she did get into a car
I think that was like part of the misinformation that was going around. back
As we
then.
discussed this
However they
new
distributed it.
studio on air during the show, Kevin, your laptop is the brightest thing in the world, and it's like very much reflecting off the monitor back there.
We have to do
Could
the
you
pose,
could you
the
tilt
Kevin
it a little
pose.
bit that
Later
way?
on.
This way?
No, just angle it towards. Nope, you're angling it the wrong way.
The podcast listeners
This
don't
is
care about this.
this is great for podcasts.
Great
It
for
sure
audio.
is. It sure is.
If you're
Sorry,
listening to the
everybody.
podcast,
Give us a 5-star review. We deserve it.
we are at a table right now and not on what would you
Lame,
call those?
Terrible chairs that made you see all the things.
Not flattering.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look for men,
Going back to the drinking
I don't
in
want to
cars.
get into it.
Going back into the drinking in cars, there was one time during high school where I somehow got enlisted to do what's the Tootsie Rolls at Knights of Columbus? There's a Lions, or who gives out the Tootsie Rolls
Sure.
at intersections?
Doesn't matter, but yes.
Yeah.
That's okay. Don't remember that, but
The amount of people who like I kind of went up to and like say like, do you want to give me $1 for a Tootsie Roll? The amount of people who had open beers in their car was like not insignificant.
yeah. I mean, come on.
Does this mean you were in the Knights of Columbus? I'm confused.
No, this was somehow we got in. It was probably like a community service sort of thing.
Oh, so you were in community service. Okay.
It was in Addison, so I think Driscoll Catholic was somehow involved.
Okay.
Shout out DC, RIP.
Nobody ever drinks in their cars anymore. That's completely done.
No, it's all just
Done.
smoking. It's all just smoking the weeds.
It's done.
So it's just popping gummies. It's,
No. Very much driving down 290 and smelling the herbs.
Just
was on
flying out.
I was
Yeah.
on a date once with a guy who had an open bottle in his car when he picked me up for the date. And I didn't want to like be weird and like look at what it was. I panicked. It was like kind of green. So I was like, is that a Stella? Is this man drinking?
Absinthe, yeah.
Is this man drinking on a date with
And it
me?
was
That's
it was
really
Prel,
weird.
the
and
old,
it was like
shampoo from
no,
the
I
70s.
panicked for no reason. And it was like some San Pellegrino like sparkling water. Right?
Was that the one?
And now
No.
you're married to that guy.
No, I'm not.
Hello, Casey's husband.
No, I'm not. It didn't work out.
we should probably talk Chicago sports at some point on the show.
we
Because
have
that
to?
is the name of it, the Chicago Sports Podcast. If you're listening
cares?
to this in another feed, make sure you subscribe to this because we talk about all sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like no one is in the chat yelling at us like on the Bears show. I think we could just keep talking about random shit.
Yeah. I do want to. I do want to shout out. We have 2
Or not.
CHGO Bears tailgates left on the calendar, starting with this Sunday before the game against the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll be out there starting at 7:30 before the noon kickoff. Firewater barbecue, Oli Pop soda, Goose Island beer, all of the goodness. Last weekend was pretty fun. Game results notwithstanding. My cousins were out there. Shout out TJ and Patrick. Had a good time. A lot of other people are out there as well. We'll also be out there Thursday, November 9th, before the Carolina game. And we realize that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get people out there on a Thursday afternoon. So we're going to make it worth your while. We've got some cool things in the works, which will be announced.
Sounds like it's a happy hour. That sounds like way easier for me than 7:30 in the morning. What are you talking about?
True.
Who the hell wants to wake up that early to drink?
Bears fans.
Listen.
Oh, right.
Lawrence. People love spending their Sunday morning with us. They look forward to it. Now we're asking them
So like church.
to come. Right, exactly. Now
Sunday
we're
morning church.
now we're asking them to mess with their happy hour, which they're used to on Thursdays, to come on over to the South Loop in the middle of traffic. I like the fact that we're going the extra mile. Kevin Kaduk, whatever the hell you got planned, I approve of.
All right.
You too,
It's
Casey.
a Carm dunk tank, everyone.
Oh my God, I love that idea.
Oh, yes.
Let's do a dunk tank.
Let's look at the
People would
forecast.
people would pay to do that to you.
I would pay money, and I work here.
People would pay.
I mean, the concept that I would do anything to help out CHGO is correct. So if you really did that, I would do it.
Is he in a Speedo? That's my question.
Speedo would be very aggressive. I don't think I would show
And the-
well,
and
and,
the, like,
that could be
We're
mortifying.
going to have to give him that
The
raise
swim
that he
cap?
was asking for on the Bears podcast to do the
swim cap,
Speedo.
I
I
think.
feel like I should do this because you guys are both doing that.
It's
Well,
so
I don't know.
weird.
I don't know
These are
like
so
exactly
weird.
how to like
I don't know,
position
just
myself.
Try and
here.
sit normally.
There is no normal with this situation right here because
I
if you're
kind of like it.
normal, it's just you got to lean into it. I feel.
Look, they did it at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's just better right here. You live the dream.
Yeah, I like it.
It's an hour
Studio
lean forward.
B.
It's good for the
Okay,
system.
dunk tank, yes.
Yeah.
What else should we do at the tailgate? Send Rex in the chat.
I'm open for, since we play bags at the tailgate, I think we should have some open gambling bags with T-shirts and whatnot. Beat Carm or beat Braggs or beat Kacy, beat Kevin, whoever in a game
It
of
would be
bags,
easy.
and you win CHGO prizes.
Bozo buckets, maybe? Is that
Plus,
trademark?
I doubt it.
We should get Bozo out there is what we should do.
Sure.
There is rumors of royalty coming out there
mean,
that we
we-
can't talk about, but that could happen.
There's definitely clowns at our tailgate.
I invited Travis Bajan, Tyson Bajan's dad, to our tailgate on Sunday, but I don't think they're coming.
We got to make it fun because we have no Fields, right? And no Jimmy G.
This is about
How
to
old
become-
is Travis Bajan?
He looks like he's 28.
I feel like he's probably younger than both of us.
We got to look that up because he looks super young.
He does.
He's got
I was like
he's
looking
got a
at him, I was like,
22-year-old son. So let's say the earliest that he went on that. Let's say he's
40.
20. He's 42. Could he be 42?
You could be 40.
Give me a nice 40-year-old. Are you on it,
Doesn't
Kev?
say.
He weighs 265 pounds.
That's all we care
He
about.
doesn't look 265. There's a video. Do you see the video going around with him and Andrew Siciliano that he tweeted out? I think he kicked the crap out of Tom Pelissero in an arm wrestling situation.
I didn't see that.
Date of birth, October 3rd, 1976.
So he's 3 years younger than me. He's 48. I mean, he's 47. Excuse me.
Are
I
you
don't.
now older than 50?
Let's not push myself another year down the old toilet here. All right, so 47. He wants to come. The Bajan family's all coming out Sunday. The Bajans are going to be here.
At the tailgate?
Not at the
You extended the invite, but haven't heard back.
I extended I knew, like, there's no way for the biggest day in the history of the world that they're coming over to our tailgate. But, like, maybe, 8 in the morning, you get out there. What are they going to do? They're not going to be in the locker room with Tyson.
They want that goose. They want that firewater barbecue.
I mean, it'd be a little.
That firewater barbecue, by the way, is available pretty much when we open. So if you want, barbecue is a good breakfast. Very underrated.
Yeah, we ate it the past couple of weeks, 9, 10 a.m.
So
And you know what? It was fine. It was delicious.
It's great.
You know that it's good because the guy who's serving it up, they're so awesome. He just sticks
Yeah.
his hand right into the pork and pulls it out. There's
He has a glove on.
He has a
He has a
glove
He's got a
glove.
glove, but he sticks his hand right in there and just grabs it out. Just this tender, delicious, juicy meat versus like he's not pulling it apart at all. It's just like, puts it on your plate. I love it. First class.
First class.
More CHGO events. We've got Blackhawks takeovers and watch parties coming up. I think I'm going to break some news here. And the Blackhawks guys, I'm not even sure they know about this, but next Friday night we are having a watch party.
What?
And if you live in the south suburbs,
Mario, do you hear this?
He's not here
if
yet.
you live in the south suburbs like Jay Zawoski, it's a great location. It's at Legends in Mokina. They'll be out there watching the Blackhawks game, so make sure you get out there for that. And we'll be having a takeover on Saturday, November 4th for the Florida game. A few tickets remain for that. Check out allchgo.com for details. Last bit of housework this week's Taking Care of Business Award winner, powered by ComEd, goes to
Okay.
Blackhawks goalie Arvid Soderblom.
You should have
Never heard of him.
Should have looked that up.
24-year-old from Sweden. He's started 2 games for the Blackhawks so far, only given up 3 goals, including a 36-save, 1-goal effort, and a 4-1 victory over the Maple Leafs earlier this week. He is originally undrafted, kind of has worked his way up. Could be a big piece of the Chicago Blackhawks' future. Everyone talks about Connor Bedard, Kevin Korchinski.
I mean, I love
Those
how
guys?
Yep. I love how he uses both his blocker and his glove. The guy he's multi-talented goalie. I.e., I haven't watched anything and don't know. So,
Come on, Carm.
what do you got on him? What do you got on an Arvid Soderblom?
Hey, his name's Arvid.
There it is.
Just like that dude from head of the class.
Head of the class.
Casey, what do you
You
got
know
on
that show?
Arvid?
Not a lot.
You think he's solid though, right?
I mean, I'm
You
just
were
excited.
just drinking martinis at the United Center midday.
Yeah, that was for food, though.
Oh, right. But
We
it
were
was a
trying the new
Blackhawks
food
event.
and drink at the United Center and the returning items that they're going to have. And it was delicious.
Was it?
Yes.
Are you lying?
No.
It was delicious.
It was amazing. I loved it.
It's a lot better when it's like not $18 either.
Well, yeah, for free, it feels good. But it was a good media preview. We did some content there. And
Can you think to include me in these
Hey.
eating extravaganzas?
Yes.
I'd love to be.
yes,
I'd
we
love to
need
contribute.
to do the Carm Burger
There you go.
Carm Burger.
extravaganza.
I will do anything to be included
We were
in
gonna
free
do,
food.
what was that burger we were going to do?
Oh, we're gonna go to the drop, which
Yeah.
I think we should we should have an outing.
Yeah.
Have you had it? You're
Apparently, what's it
You
called?
are
the,
not-
The ND, what is it
Drop?
called?
the drop on Milwaukee
The NDC burger,
and
what's that?
Hubbard. It's like the jalapeno something burger. It's freaking phenomenal.
Okay.
I'm in.
I'm
Always
in.
in for a burger trip.
Let's go. All right.
All right, let's
Back
get
to you,
into today's topic. So last Sunday, Big Dave was in right before the Bulls game. It was after the Bears game. And he kind of mentioned to me, he said, you know what? Every other all-city outlet, and we are in 4 cities now, Denver, Phoenix, and Philly, every other outlet has at least 2 legit playoff contenders. Phoenix has the D-backs, who unfortunately look like they're on the way out, but they're in the NLCS. They
And
have
they're playing the Phillies.
the Phoenix
yeah.
Suns,
Win-win.
right?
All City.
Philly has the Phillies, Eagles, and whatever their MLS team is called.
No, I'd say the 76ers
And the
are
76ers
probably
are
a decent team.
The 76ers are a contender, but I think we kind of know what their ceiling is.
Wow. Shots fired at Joel Embiid.
Just saying. Sorry, Joel.
Joel.
Denver has the reigning world champion Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
The Colorado Avalanche, who are a juggernaut. And that's all they have, right? Oh, they have the
Rockies are at the bottom.
right. They have the CU Buffs, who are
They've
4-3, but
They've got Dion.
right.
It doesn't matter. All it matters is that we have nobody.
We have Connor Bedard, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So coming into today's show, I wanted to talk about, like, okay, what do our teams really need to get to becoming respected teams with an actual shot at, getting into the playoffs. Cubs were almost in the playoffs. Bulls could get into the playoffs this year. Maybe even the Blackhawks could, but they're not necessarily playoff, they're not going to they might not make it past the first round. So I thought we'd start with Chicago Bears.
Right. Well, I'll take that one at the start here. I actually don't completely hate the Bears' position right now. You've got Carolina's pick. They don't have a win. You've got your own pick. We have one win. So you're going to have 2 high draft picks that you can turn into 2 high-end players or multiple picks. So that position is not terrible. You are in quarterback hell as per always, but you are actually going to play another young quarterback. So if you don't, whatever. If you get bad news, you get bad news that Tyson Bagent can't play too. But at least they're doing that versus playing some aging veteran that has no future. Like, let's say the Bears actually hit on something. This could be an enormous development the rest of the season. Or even it's still on the table, even though Bears fans are going down the road if it's over. It's still possible that Justin comes back in a couple of weeks, he plays well, and Fields becomes more of a future thing here. That's not over. So the problem that the Bears have right now, and they've been playing better. There's a lot of problems, but they haven't fixed the defense yet. Mm-hmm. So you need impact players on the defensive line who can get to the quarterback, and the Bears have none of them. And those guys are hard to find. And there was one this year that I admittedly said, do not draft Jalen Carter. He's a character case, issue, problem, child waiting to happen. Look what he did off the field. You can't bring that guy in here. And that's not looking like that was the right decision because there hasn't been a peep of an issue from him, and he's performing. So, but regardless, so that's what they got to find. That's going to be in addition to everything else. So but they have cap flexibility. They have draft picks coming. I think there is actual reasons to be optimistic. The Bears are still, despite the way the season has started, headed in the right direction.
I agree with that. Like I said, like the one plus, and I've been saying this, is that Ryan Poles has not really, obviously, strung them up with any deals that are going to be hard to get out of, or they still have plenty of cap space. But to me, the shortage of the actual impact players,
that's right,
and so much of our future hopes were and are tied up in Justin Fields kind of becoming that dude, and he still may or may not be, but depending on what this injury looks like, he may never get a chance to show that at the end of this. I'm looking at like some of these first mock drafts that are coming up, and they've got the Bears taking like Caleb Williams at number 1, which, okay, of course, sure, that's what they're going to do. But then at like number 3, like Marvin Harrison Jr., which, great, that dude might be awesome, might be a stud, but
Is this the earliest that the mock drafts have come out?
I mean, there's all, you
That
can
seems
wake up
a
any
lot.
day and find someone doing a mock draft.
That seems really sad.
Yeah, especially when the Bears are locked up so early in it. I mean, I don't think we were planning on that whatsoever, but to me, it's just like the lack of difference makers. You guys went through like who are the guys that you just really love going forward, and it's DJ Moore, it's maybe Darnell Wright.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look, you're taking me back into training camp where we're going out there every single day, and I'm trying to be optimistic about the team and hoping that something good is going to happen. And I'm watching them every day on the field, and I literally would walk around and just like to different media people, I'd be like, what do you think? 2 wins? 3 wins? 4? What do you got? 2? I mean, it didn't look good. And then I would just be like, what are they good at? Who?
So do you feel like you? But like,
but it's just like the Kevin's point. It's like, who's the dude? And like you're watching them every day. It's like, okay, they got one dude. DJ Moore is a dude. But you just didn't see enough quote unquote.
I think you put DJ Moore there, Darnell Wright. Then I think like the next level down is Brisker, Cole Kmet,
Edmonds.
Yeah, I mean Tremaine Edmonds, right? Like obviously,
I mean, me personally,
Tremaine Edmonds, I think you put on that first level. I mean, you paid
Wait.
him certainly to be at that first level.
time out, Carm. You were saying 2, 3, 4 wins, but then we all got here and did that prediction video where we said 7, 8, 12, and so it's like,
Yeah, he
what
said
happened?
7.
Were you like
He said
influenced?
7.
Were you influenced by everybody else and the hype of it all?
He was influenced.
I was influenced, and look, I went the lowest of anybody, but I didn't want to just like. I blame myself. I should have said it. I should have gone right in there. I don't think they're good. I hope I'm wrong. 4-13. I seriously
But
should have
even
done
still, looking at the schedule, though, it's just still not adding up. It's still not.
Yeah, no,
Because you certainly didn't think this team was going to take a step back.
Right. They were a 1-7 team last year in 1-score games. You would think that Justin Fields was a year better and that DJ Moore was going to have an impact and Darnell Wright was going to be a solid first-round pick and that Tremaine Edmonds was going to impact that middle. All these things were logical, and then the schedule was you could navigate it, but they've gotten worse, or they did. I do think they're finally starting to come out of it. The defense is starting to come alive, and I'm very interested to see how the quarterback's going to play this weekend. I know that Kevin. I think Kevin's you're a skeptic. You're a Bajan skeptic. It's okay. I'm a Bajan optimist.
Like, but why?
You're Ty curious.
Why? I mean,
he went 13 for 14. He got. How was this? He got in there on Sunday. DJ Moore had 1 catch when he got in there. He finished with 5. He had that sweet ball down the middle.
I will say this. I was sitting here and I said to Adam, I really just wonder how often he works with Tyler Scott, because we hadn't seen Tyler Scott at all this year. And then all of a sudden, Tyler Scott's everywhere on the field and catching passes.
Velus Jones got a catch. He's been here for a year and a half. We haven't seen it.
I'm not pro Bajan. I'm not anti Bajan. I guess I'm just at this point neutral, because like, how am I supposed to feel? Because yes, he got snaps against 3rd and 4th and stringers and even less in the preseason, right? What am I going to take from that?
Yeah.
And
Kacy,
then
are you Ty curious?
Yes. Thank you for bringing that back up.
Got you.
I am. I give him a shot. Let him see what he can do. I mean, I'm for it, but Karma, what stands out to me is what you said about the defense. They have a defensive problem. They have a defensive analyst. They don't have a defensive coordinator. It's just
You teed up something there. Phil Snow.
Don't say it.
Phil Snow is gonna make an impact. You're into Phil Snow.
I just think you have to fix the core before everything else.
Right, but they
The
are
root.
they are
it was
playing.
like what Woot said over on After Dark. Don't bring in another quarterback until you have everything else in the house set up.
But that's
correctly.
not.
That's not how kind of things work.
That's not how it works. This is the NFL. You need QBs. So if they get the top pick, even if Bajan plays lights out, I still think they're drafting Caleb Williams.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
What are
Right.
you talking about?
Well,
But you just said it's a defensive problem.
but there's some people that think
But Bajan is also walking into a situation with the same handicaps that is facing Justin Fields.
Yeah, the linemen block each other instead of the defense.
right, but Bajan, I don't know. It almost feels like he has a greater command of the offense than Justin. He talked when he talked yesterday. He said the offenses I'm familiar with it. I played it in 4.5 years in college. Mm-hmm. Like he's telling the coaches when he went in the game last week, hey, you don't need to dial anything back. I know the game plan. Let's go. So
On the flip side, I'm driving in, listening to a different outlet here in town, and the guy on there is
That's rude.
already.
What?
It was, but it was on the.
there are others.
Yeah,
who are we talking about? Let's hear it.
and he was already ascribing a lifetime of just backup quarterbacking to Tyson Bajan.
Right.
And to me,
right.
like, that's not fair either.
Yeah, I want to fight everybody that does that, to be honest. Like, you don't know. Who the hell do you it just, we don't know. And there is oodles and oodles of dudes who came in the league. We talked about this today on CHGO Bears podcast. Like, look, telling me that, Tony Romo, undrafted, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Dude's having a pretty good career. I get it that it's a much better setup in San Francisco than it is here. Greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. I mean, come on.
I also think you're doing this and thinking, because he's from this nowhere school that I've never ever heard of before. Then wouldn't this be a great story?
I listen. When I watched training camp, I did not notice him. Mm-hmm. Like, I just watched him. Whatever. I had no Bajan thoughts. Like, play that guy. Nothing. Okay, just do whatever. He's another dude throwing balls into a net. I didn't care at all. And I didn't care about him until he went out there and went 13 for 14. And it looked different. And I was like, well, what
Justin Fields was 15 of 16 against the Broncos in the first half again, like in an actual game against an actual NFL defense that's probably giving the Broncos too much credit.
I got it. And listen, we sung his praises in the Washington game and the throw to DJ Moore in the corner.
You sung praises. Okay. You sung, period.
Literally.
Yes, all of that. I did. I sang and I mean, I've got the song that we're gonna do for him, and now he's hurt. We can't even do it. Justin Fields run the ball, and I was gonna move it to Justin Fields throw the ball, and I was
featuring Cole Kmet.
I was so excited about it, and now I'm working on some other things. But
you need to give Kmet a tambourine next time he comes in.
FT.
There's just there is an abundance of evidence that Justin just holds on to the ball too long and doesn't see who's open out there. And with Bajan, I feel like he sees the field at an elite level for somebody who's barely played.
Right. So to wrap this up, Carm, what is the earliest year the Bears will be a legit playoff contender?
Well, when you say legit, I mean that means to me
winning one game at least.
That you are competitive in the playoffs, not just sneaking in. So 2025,
a 2-year thing. We'll
Why
see.
Not?
All right.
I don't like it.
Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. It is a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your football season. No matter where you are on your cannabis journey, they offer easy online ordering and in-store pickup and a great transparent loyalty program called Sunnyside Rewards. It is Illinois' favorite dispensary. It's all over the state, so make sure you check it out. Google up your nearest location. It offers the Sunnyside House of Brand, from Mindy's to Good News to Cresco to High Supply to FloraCal. I mean, you want your cannabis in any form, Sunnyside has it. And again, they've got those bud tenders there that will really take you through, explain everything, explain what you're getting, what is best for your lifestyle, what you're looking to do. Sunnyside is that place. And now through October 31st, you can head to sunnyside.shop and use code CHGO25 at checkout for 25% off your total order. One use per customer, not stackable with other promotions. Guys, we had a sales meeting earlier this week. A lot of people have used that code, like a lot. So that's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's great that we're seeing CHGO and Sunnyside hook up at such a high usage rate. And if you want to join the party, again, use CHGO25 at checkout for 25% off your total order. Pick up everything you need to elevate your football season. Must be 21 plus or an Illinois MedCard holder.
I think that's Emma just telling all our friends about the code.
That's fine.
It's kind of
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Emma.
Hope your ankle feels better.
Emma's friends smoke a lot of weed. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Go, Emma.
Kids.
Hey, that's awesome. And I hope we're doing the same thing for our friends over at Circa. If you're gambling, do it with our friends at Circa Sports Illinois. They do the best split for you, the gambler. They're always looking for minus 110. They're not your juice that you pay at Circa. They keep it as low as possible. They want to put money in your pocket. That should excite any gambler of any level. If you're a big-time gambler, they don't put a limit on players based on the winnings. Every player has the same limits, so that's cool. And look, Circa encourages you to download and explore all the betting apps out there. Compare the lines. Check out what you get at Circa. Check out what you get elsewhere. They are confident in the value they bring to their customers. Real people behind the Circa Sports brand who are at our tailgate, who came out the other night to Wings and Rings.
I got some swag.
These are some quality people who are bringing the good service to you. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circa Sports at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So download the Circa Sports Illinois at circasports.com/Illinois-app, circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. And be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, tailgates, the whole thing. Come and say hello to them at our tailgate. If you or someone you know does have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
If you're out at our tailgate this Sunday, check out the Circa people because they do have swag, and if you download their app, they will give you some of it. They got this really nice kind of like thin hoodie with Circa. It's black and white. Very sharp.
Yeah.
Cool.
And free.
Love swag.
Always stuff we all get.
Stuff we all get.
Hey, thanks everyone for joining us today. Hit that like button if you're in there. Appreciate all the comments. We got Jason T saying things changed for the Cubs when they went to the smart route and brought in a smart, newer, accomplished GM in Theo Epstein. The Bears operate like a small family business. Yep. I mean, that's what they've actually been for the last 100 years. And that does have to change. I definitely agree with you there, Jason. Robert Field says, Getsy is running a D2 offense. No wonder it sucks. Well, he's got a D2 quarterback, so see how it goes.
Yep.
It's a
There it
perfect
is.
fit.
Really.
All right, we're talking about the path to playoff contention for all our teams here. Let's jump into the Blackhawks. They played tonight against the Colorado Avalanche out in Denver.
Emma's here. Hey, Emma.
Emma.
I told her we were talking about her.
Sup?
Dude.
It's only an hour and 16 minutes to 420, yo. What's up, dude?
She's going to be dead right now.
Wow, that is terrible.
Anyway.
Let's watch The Simpsons
Anyway, the
at
Blackhawks.
420.
Last September on the Chicago Sports Podcast, we did we ranked where every team was in terms of future hope. And the Blackhawks ranked 7th out of 8 teams just in front of the Chicago Fire, which is never a good thing. Right now, I'd argue that they are number 1. I don't think it's probably even arguable because they do have that impact player in Connor Bedard. It looks like they have a true number 1 defenseman in Kevin Korchinski, and that's like half your battle right there. I don't know necessarily that they're going to get into the playoffs this year. It doesn't seem like they'd be able to make up the points and make that jump in points that they need, but they've looked pretty good here. These first 4 games, they've been competitive. They've got a great coach. It seems like they have a great GM, great leadership.
Yeah. I think they just have to do what they're doing. Like, stay the course. That is the path. Don't you agree, Carm? I mean, it's just, like, we knew it was going to be a slow burn for the Hawks. But all the pieces with Bedard are there, and these guys that are supporting him.
So let's talk about the last team that shocked the world and won a championship in Chicago. That would be
The Chicago Sky.
outside of the Sky. I can't speak intelligently about the Sky.
Okay.
How about of the Cubs, Sox, Bears, Bulls, and Hawks?
So you're talking
We've
about
never
the
really
Cubs?
had a shock.
Like,
A
was
shocker
that a
team.
shock?
We've
I
never
mean,
had
what
like
are we talking
like the New York Giants, like all of their Super Bowls except for like the first ones were like shocker Super Bowls, right?
Well, I mean, maybe they didn't shock them because they started out 26-5 when they were the best team in baseball that year. But I'm talking about the Cubs, and the reason why I'm making I'm making that connection is because the Cubs had elite young players, and that's how they got there. And the Blackhawks have the elite young player. So every team in the city should be jealous of where the Hawks are at, and it's just now on the organization to put the pieces around him. But you have the guy. That's an insane concept that you have the guy. You have to luck into the guy, which is what happened. I mean,
That never happens to us.
That never happens. The Bulls tried to tank 8,000
It's literally
times.
happened twice in the last 6 months.
What was the other one?
The
Oh yeah, the
Bears.
Bears. But they didn't because the guy wasn't there. You got it, But
it's happened to the Bulls. The Bulls got Derrick Rose. But it also happened to the Bulls where they got Elton Brand.
This happened where they were in the lottery with 4 others, basically, with the most chances to get the number 1 pick.
They were the third best odds.
Yeah, the third best odds. And they hit with Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, whoever he's going to become.
You know what I find amazing about the Blackhawks rebuild is that they stayed in-house. I mean, basically did the equivalent of what the White Sox did with Chris Getz, but they really hit on it with Kyle Davidson. Because, anyone can take Connor Bedard. That's not hard to do. But what he was able to do in the draft before and go out there. I mean, Kevin Korchinski was the 7th overall pick. And he had to make those draft day moves to get in that position and make unpopular moves, getting rid of Alex DeBrincat. And, it's easy to tear things down. Ryan Poles tore down the Bears very, very easily. But now he's finding that building it back up is tough.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well,
I was just agreeing.
Well, and then just kind of go along further on my point. Davidson has made those next moves and is building it. And you look at this 2023-2024 team, it's not only those youngsters, but he went out and spent money on some good veterans. Now, he got rid of Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane, saying we need a clear space for these guys to make this team their own. But at the
Foligno.
He went out and got Foligno and Corey Perry, guys who are those young kids still need those kind of shepherds.
Yeah, totally.
So to me, like what Kyle Davidson has done so far, he is the Theo Epstein of hockey, even though he didn't have the pedigree coming in. I mean, he's still he's your age, I think.
He's like 33 or 34 or 35, and it's impressive.
I think you might be taller than him too.
Yeah, he's Kyle from Chicago, just doing it big.
What's Kaner's situation again?
He's rehabbing.
Not coming back here.
Never coming back here.
Well, he's not coming back here, but he's rehabbing from an injury, so he doesn't have a team right now.
He doesn't have a team, right?
Taves is supposedly taking this year off. I'd be surprised if he's ever in an NHL uniform again, but who knows?
I mean, I understand that's not the focus, but I do like romantic stories where guys come back and play with young superstars, and it's all adorable.
I could see Kane at some point kind of coming in here for. I mean, if you spent the last 15 years bringing Andrew Ladd and Christopher Stieg and Johnny Oduya back for victory laps.
Oduya, that's so good. I'm excited to go to our Blackhawks takeover November 4th.
Yeah,
so
I'll be there.
It's gonna be a fun night. Are we really skating? Is that a thing?
They're going to the Fifth Third Arena earlier. I won't be there because I have a family thing, but I'm not sure if there's is there skating involved?
That's what
Greg Bragg said that on the Bears podcast.
Gregory P. Allen Bragg Jr.
We should get Luke back in the Santa costume again to skate like he did it last year.
I mean, seriously, if there's tickets available and we're literally giving you an opportunity to skate at the practice facility, how sweet is that?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Don't they usually have open skate there though? I mean, it's kind of a community rink.
It is. It's very much a community rink. Yeah.
Really?
I've skated at the United Center before. That's cool.
Wow, aren't you a big timer?
Season ticket holder event.
Okay.
I got to skate there back.
That was cool.
I thought you can't skate.
I'm not good, but I can try. Yeah. I'm not good.
Okay.
Not a good skater.
What are you good at athletically? Let's talk about your athletic talents.
I played softball. I was a dancer.
Softball?
You're like the size of a bat.
I was second baseman.
You played softball and you didn't come out once this year on a team.
I told you why, Carm. I did not want to hurt this. Okay.
I definitely told you if you said that, which I'm sure I'm now remembering that you did, I would have put you at catcher.
Which also sounds dangerous.
It's most definitely not dangerous.
You're hit in the back with a bat.
Oh, pay attention back there.
Really? My dad made me catch once because my dad was my coach.
Nick's girlfriend can play catcher. You can too.
Also, she shouldn't have did that either because she is just so beautiful, and I would not do it.
There's no danger.
I'm scared.
Zero.
She can call herself a champion.
You're right. She can. You're right. I contemplated going and cheering you guys on or being the reporter, doing the sideline interviews for you guys.
And then you didn't do anything.
You're coming to game 1 next year as we start the repeat.
Fine.
It's on the record.
I'll be there.
Lawrence came out to support us.
I know he did.
It's 10 minutes from my house.
I
I
know
mean,
we
the
did.
dude came out and we had cocktails and we celebrated, and I got COVID. It was great.
And then you gave everybody else.
I
COVID.
didn't, thankfully. Thank you for
Unbelievable.
not giving it to me. I appreciate
Surprising because I thought you would for sure.
Can we talk about the Bulls quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
that. Do we have to?
I love the Bulls.
So
What
the
about the
Bulls right
Cubs?
now made some off-season acquisitions. Everyone's pinning their hopes on Torrey Craig, Javon Carter, and hoping this will be the year that Patrick Williams finally becomes Patrick Williams. I'm not convinced. But do you think this is a Bulls team that is anywhere close to becoming a legit playoff contender in the National Basketball Association?
I'm optimistic that the Bulls are going to surprise this year. Not in a super legit playoff contender, but as a make the playoffs team.
Really?
I think I am optimistic on the Bulls.
I feel like there's no expectation, so that could be interesting, but no.
I hope they're a fun team to watch. I hope that, they're in games. And, yeah, I could see them scratching their way to 42, 43 wins. But that's not – like, how do you get juiced up about that?
Right. You don't. You get juiced up in that, like, you're going to games and they're not at the bottom of the league. But Bulls are in a tough spot because DeMar this is the last year. So now –
last year before another very sizable contract.
yeah, and
He's not done, but he's getting into his mid-30s.
I mean, I can't imagine that you're re-signing DeMar. So you're trying to squeeze one last little run at something this year, which is just not exciting. I don't know. The Bulls might be the farthest away, honestly, because they have to go back. They haven't done the go back thing yet. So, I mean, even the White Sox went back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, the White Sox are in baseball hell too, but I almost feel like they're in a better position than the Bulls. As far as like being really legitimately getting to a high ceiling, the Bulls are so far
You
away
have to
from high
hit rock
ceiling.
bottom before, and they haven't yet.
Right.
Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean, I would say like the Bulls right now, like everything is predicated on Patrick Williams actually making that step, which we still have not seen, and I don't think is coming. Like even with like Markkanen, you saw flashes like this dude can be a legit player. He wasn't able to sustain it, got horrible coaching, and then went to Utah, and then we saw an all-star. I don't see that happening for Patrick Williams with the way he plays, with the body he has, with what he's shown. Now, Kobe White looks better. So can Kobe White make another big jump? Can Io make a big jump? They paid Io, right? Like that's what needs to happen if they are to become a playoff contender. A true playoff contender.
Yeah, I slightly differ from you on Patrick. I do think that there's something that hasn't been unlocked, but the evidence would point to you being right. So my chances on
So when you say that, like, you just feel like, okay, maybe he's just like,
well,
to me, he's just like,
he doesn't get the ball. Like
right.
You got it. DeMar's it's in his hand 38% of the time.
And when DeMar came in here, like the entire thing was, how is he possibly going to get the ball from Vooch and Zach? And they did figure that out for that run before Alonzo was hurt. But that still exists where it's just such a distribution problem that it's just never going over to P-Will. So
right.
I don't know.
And, you're talking about a guy that came off the bench in his 1 year at Florida State, so hadn't played a ton of hoop, comes in, it's been hurt,
That's all,
COVID.
come on, that's bullshit.
He
was a
young-
finisher. He just didn't start. He finished those games at Florida State. It's Leonard Hamilton.
Okay, whatever.
He played 30 minutes.
That's fine, but it's still 1 year of college hoop. Or he played 1 year of college hoop, playing 20 minutes a night. He's young. He's super young. And he's got a great attitude. He works his ass off. There is talent there.
He's just not aggressive is his problem.
Right. But I think you become a little bit more aggressive. Like, Patrick, ball's in your hands, dude. We don't have DeMar anymore. Zach's still here, but Vooch is 8,000 years old now. Like, you're going to actually – I mean, some guys develop late. Kawhi, a lot of people like to compare him to Kawhi Leonard, which is a little too tall. But could he be somebody that once he starts to get the ball in his hands more and more and he gets comfortable, it looks a whole lot different. I'm not saying I'm overly optimistic. I'm not going to sit here and pound the table for him, but I do have some level of optimism that it could happen.
Well, I sure hope it does.
Vooch is 32, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Another 3-year deal for
Ancient.
Vooch. Just had to have Vooch. And I like
hell,
Vooch, but
Kevin?
come on, man.
That's how old I am.
Yeah, I mean,
You're 32?
oh
Yeah.
God.
That's amazing. I'd love to be
Did
32.
you think that I was younger or older?
I had you at 26.
Wow. Honored.
There's this woman I follow on TikTok, and
I think
like
he's saying you're
half of her
immature.
videos are like, "Oh my God, I'm 32, I'm age shit," and I'm just like, oh, "Come on,
No, we're embracing it.
yeah, you should."
We talking about the Cubs?
We are talking about game time right now.
Oh.
Because game time is there because you shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. It's the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. I think our friend Matt Peck was able to join us at Fish on Friday night through game time. He had really, really good seats for the Friday night show, so it was good to see him out there. Sarah was out there, and Vinny Duber. We had a good time. I don't know where the rest of you guys were. Here
Yeah, they suck.
Here comes Lawrence with his anti-fish
Yeah,
bias.
they're terrible.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, then
I
why'd you
totally
ask the
forgot
question?
about it. I would have gone.
You should have.
Just don't understand going like multiple nights.
It's a different show every night.
They do different shows.
And they also did a light show and did the Bulls logo, which was super cool.
That is cool.
It was very cool.
All right, I'm
Game
in on
Time has
fish.
last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, and it's always easy to find and buy the tickets for any kind of event you want in your area. The one thing I like about the Game Time website is you can actually go on there and they have it like filtered down, like, hey, you want to go to an event for under $30, and they've got stuff on, under $30. They've got something just for this weekend, and there's stuff that you don't even know that necessarily these teams or bands were in town. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, and you probably should because the weather still looks really shitty, check out Game Time. It offers the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection if you somehow lose your job between now and Sunday, Carm. Just warning you.
Whoa.
Hey, I don't believe me.
Wow.
That ain't no
It's
shot.
happened before, right?
It's right there.
Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind in your purchase. Now Carm has no peace of mind. Sorry, Carm.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll be all right.
Find exclusive flash deals and sponsor deals on tickets for all those sporting events. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Lawrence, did you have what's the get-in price for Raiders Bears?
$90.
That'll be even lower. Usually,
yeah, I would say wait until Sunday because my God.
Tonight's
Ooh.
Bulls game is a lot.
Tonight's
it
Bulls
really?
game?
Well-
what?
Hold on. Wait for it.
$14.
To sit in the, what? No. I don't want to sit up there.
Where do you want to sit?
I'm Casey Standohar. I want
Courtside.
to sit next to the court. Well, yeah, you're not paying
AC
$14.
wants to pay $630 for a courtside seat to an exhibition.
No, she wants to
game.
pay $14 for courtside seats.
Row
which is-
8.
I want to be
ridiculous.
for free because I'm credentialed on the court. Just kidding. No, this would be, I mean, that's not bad. 180.
No, you can do 122 dead center row 3 for $140. Let's go.
I would say it's
Preseason.
preseason and wait.
Yeah. I'm just
Or
saying.
you could go into the corner over here, which is still a great seat. You'd like it there because,
Nobody puts Casey in the corner.
row 7 and 108 for
Well done.
54.
Wow.
You would love
Yeah,
that
I like
seat.
the corner.
You'd like to be low down and just be close to the action.
Yeah,
see Benny
yeah,
the Bull.
that- yeah.
I know. I believe
Okay.
I
Okay, that's fair.
Come on.
Let's talk about the Cubs and Sox.
Cubs
All right.
need pitching, bullpen, help. Period.
It doesn't seem like that hard of a vision here. Let's spend some money.
Yeah.
Look at the Phillies. Look at the amount that they spent. Look at the Texas Rangers. Look at the amount they spent. They've done the hard work. They've established a good base. They've brought in good players. They've got some young players. But it is going to take more money this offseason because you can't be cheap in Major League Baseball anymore.
Is it as painful for you as it is for Cody Delmendo watching Kyle Schwarber just dominate the playoffs? He's got 18 home runs now in October, tied with Reggie Jackson.
I just pulled up rags and hit myself with the microphone.
But that was amazing. By the way, do you remember when
Does it bother you that that Schwarber's doing this?
Yes. The guy you're getting, they got rid of him for Jock Peterson. And by the way, Nick Castellanos,
A 1-year deal with Jock.
that was so incredibly, insanely stupid. And then Nick Castellanos was here. All the guy did was hit. And go, I can't afford him. It's not the right time. You paid Ian Happ way more money than Castellanos. The guy's done nothing but hit everywhere he's gone. He's doing for Philly. I just it's just kind of irritating to see guys that were here that wanted to be here.
It was so weird. I mean, Schwarber obviously came off of that 2020 season. It was not good, but that was a year that was not good for most of the planet.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse season.
But he's such a boomer bust guy, and I think Cody said this in one of his social things. They had so many boomer bust guys, and he wasn't necessarily the Rizzo, Bryant, or Baez, and I think they just looked and saw, hey, who can we get rid of here?
They got rid of him
for nothing to save $1.5 million.
Right, for nothing. They didn't want to pick up his option. It was the cheapest thing of all time.
Right.
What are you guys? You're the Chicago Cubs. Is this a joke? You can't afford Kyle Schwarber to pick up his option for, what was it, $9 million at the time, and then they give Jock Peterson $7 million? That was so insulting.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think that they've had a problem where they're not the season ticket packages aren't selling themselves maybe like they used to. They've got.
It's because they don't give any value to the fans.
They've got face value seats in some of those clubs that cost $400, $500, $600. Those things don't sell themselves.
Why anybody would buy season tickets to the Cubs is beyond me. You literally go online for any game.
Game time.
Right. Go on game time, and you're going to pay half the price, a third of the price. Doesn't make any sense.
It used to be, you'll get the World Series tickets. I have to be the season ticket holder when you get World Series tickets. That doesn't exist anymore because that happened.
Well, right. By the time they make their next World Series, if you factor how much money you'll save by then you can actually afford that World Series ticket.
They also have $19.99 a month to subscribe to Marquee. No one's paying that unless they're winning.
I didn't pay for it all year personally, which is probably a mistake. I would have enjoyed it more, but I did not pay. I didn't. I wasn't going to
listen to it on.
Listen, I begged to be on the reporters. They won't put me on the show. All right. Well, if that's how you're going to be.
You begged.
I know what Marquee's problem is.
Yeah. Begged.
White Sox. Pat's a contention. Come on, Kacy.
Okay, well, it's like Carm said. They've hit rock bottom.
I don't think they've hit rock bottom.
You don't?
I don't know.
I think the only way to go from here is up. How could it get worse?
I think they could stay on the bottom.
No.
I mean, 101 losses, but you could easily, hit 100 again next year.
But they have to change something.
Absolutely.
And they will.
And I think they want to try to run it back, and maybe they'll say Tim Anderson will be back. I don't know if Tim Anderson's ever returning.
Call up Kim Ng. Tell her
that's not happening.
Why not?
Because they've already gone down the path with Chris Getz.
And
if you're Kim,
she could be like
if you're Kim and you're leaving a dysfunctional organization, obviously she doesn't want to be in a dysfunctional organization. She should just say, "Let me go to the South Side," which is just weird hermit kingdom, even more weird than Miami.
But she knows it well. Jerry knows her. Chris Getz is going.
She was there like 30 years ago.
Well, they know each other enough. I mean,
which is really all it takes for Jerry to be like, yeah.
Look, all I know is that there is a relationship there, and Jerry likes to have relationships, so he has supported her throughout her career. You have an opportunity to bring somebody back. Hey, Chris, little bit of a pivot here.
Yeah.
We didn't know that Kim was going to be made available, but we really think that this is going to be an unbelievable person for you to lean on. By the way, she is going to be your boss. So get over any feelings that might be hurt on that.
There's just no point in even talking about this because it's not going to happen.
I think it's worth talking about.
AJ says Sox already decided they don't want two GMs anymore.
She's
absolutely 100%.
Not a GM, team president. whatever the hell you want to. She wouldn't do what Kenny did, where she was. I'm going to guess where I just made this trade. Oh, you made that trade. Well, we're going to do my trade. Somehow I don't think that Kim Ng would do that. This is not. We're not going to have the same situation. Jerry, you have an opportunity to add somebody super smart into your organization. Go ahead and do it.
I think the answer again is just the same as the Cubs. You're going to have to spend money. You're going to have to, and they're not going to. So that's not even worth talking about because that's not going to happen. But I think you look at the White Sox and like, what's the one thing they've done well the last 10 to 15 years? Is
suck.
Going to Cuba and get impact players,
Sure, yeah.
right? And you've gone in there and you got Jose Abreu and now you have Robert and
Sure.
right. So can you build around that and build around that stronghold with whatever you've established there? I don't know. Obviously, the rules have changed in terms of international scouting and signings, but I don't know. To me, you say, oh, the Bulls have the longest road back. I think
You think it's the
White Sox do just because of the way things are set up and the way they've kind of positioned themselves within the baseball economy. The Bulls are in that NBA economy, which is a little different. You have to have you're always going to have a superstar player. You're going to be paying, there's more revenue coming in. So I don't know. To me, the Sox have by far the longest road back.
Also because there's 162 games every year, so that is a long road.
Right.
I would
Really
just,
longer.
I will just say that I know it's not super popular right now and no one's excited about him, but I do like Chris Getz, and I do think he's an intelligent guy,
God.
and I do.
Did he say hello to you once?
Yeah, where you just say hi to him in the locker room.
We were
Hi,
buddies
welcome.
when he was in Kansas City.
There
playing
it is.
second. Well, that's true.
There it
He
is.
would let
That-
you be
but
on
that's
the
how it
reporter.
is
He literally has absolutely no career to do GM work, and yet let's just say he's gonna be great.
Let me clue you in on something.
Come on, has
You don't. I am a good judge of character.
Yeah.
I have that ability. It's one of my
Okay.
strengths.
okay.
You do have a good heart.
So if I thought the guy was a moron, I'd tell you. I don't think he is. I'm telling you, he's.
You thought the Bears were going to win 4 games, and you said 7. So you would not be honest.
That would saying 7 at that time was like saying 4. Everybody else was 10, 9.
Saying 7.
7 was like 4. 7 was 4. It was.
I'm glad that in that video I predicted 9 wins and 2 of them would be against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
better at least get one of them.
Exactly.
I mean, that's only shot.
Listen, I got all the pictures from it. We're gonna have
Receipts.
I got the receipts. Let's see if I've got Kevin's in
Hey,
here.
you're all wrong.
All right.
Me too.
While we're waiting, are you in the market for a new used vehicle? If you are, then we have some great news for you because Ray Chevy in Fox Lake has just joined the CHGO team. We were talking to the team at Ray, and they have this pledge called the Ray Price Promise. It's a guarantee that the price you see online is the price you pay when you go into the dealership. We found that in many cases, other dealers will raise the price on you when you come into the dealership, saying things like, are you a recent college grad? Are you active in the military? Are you a farmer? In most cases, the answer will be no. That's when the other dealers raise that price on you, saying the price online included all those rebates that you don't qualify for. At Ray, that is not the case. The price you see online is the price you pay with no add-ons on the price ever. In fact, Ray will do everything possible to find additional savings for you, which may make the price lower than you see online. Like maybe there's like something, if you're a podcast host, you get $500 off. They'll find that. As one of the top selling dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories. And right now you can save big at Ray Chevy during their Truck or Treat savings event because 0% is back and now available on new Silverado trucks, the perfect tailgate vehicle. So come on down to Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake and find the vehicle you've been searching for. And best of all, pay 0 hidden fees with a Ray Price Promise. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. Serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
And hey, we've talked about it a ton today, but let's remind you one more time. Come on out to our events and do it by becoming a diehard. This is the way to really support us and also get great value for everything that goes on here, from our merchandise to our events to just bonding with us on our happy hours, which we got to do a Bears one coming up here.
You said that now. That's like
I
2
know.
weeks
Well,
ago.
I
You've
haven't.
just been saying that. We got to do one. We got to.
But now I got
We
Kevin
haven't
here
done one.
and
We have not done
Casey's
one.
mic. So next week we got to plan one. I will host it. I will do it. Let's get it done. People are calling for it. So, at any rate, all that stuff is a beautiful thing.
Carm Happy Hour promise.
Yes. We're also, in our next 2 tailgates, we are giving away a $200 gift certificate to X Golf. So, it's an X Golf certificate giveaway. Any of their Chicagoland locations. You can find the nearest X Golf nearest you by doing playxgolf.com/Chicagoland. playxgolf.com/Chicagoland. $200 we're giving away.
Shout out to Brett, who won the one last week.
Brett won?
Brett did.
The guy that I
Brett.
cut off our softball team?
Why'd you cut him?
Because he sucked.
Oh,
I
Brett.
didn't mean that, Brett. You were.
Brett.
He came up to me and he was like, "I'm sorry. Last year I was good. This year I
He
was
was
awful."
good last year. He was telling me that he somehow got the yips somehow.
He's friends with Nick Moriano, and he won. So maybe he's a better golfer than he is a baseball
hope
player.
so.
I'll tell you why he was good last year, because relatively he was good, but this year he was not good. So it was time for him to go.
AJ says, I'm a diehard and I regret not doing it earlier. So many cool people on the Discord. I can vouch for that. Can't wait for the UC takeover November 4th.
Woo.
I'll see you out there, AJ. Make sure you say what's up.
Thanks, AJ.
I agree on the Discord. The Discord, it's kind of grown into like we started with all the rooms for all the Chicago sports teams, and then Jared came to us and said, "Hey man, I'm getting into international soccer. Can we start a spot to just talk about soccer?" And that's kind of one of our more active rooms, which is to me is cool. I don't have any interest in international soccer, but I love that some CHGO diehards are in there. When I started CHGO Marathon, someone said, "Hey, can we have a place?" Again, it was Jared. He said, "Can we start one for fitness?" And we're in there just talking about, "Oh, hey, I went on a run. Try these shoes out, whatever." So this thing keeps on growing and growing and growing, and each room kind of has its different people that kind of participate. But I mean, there's a lot of people in there now, so I think it's one of the underrated things about becoming a diehard is access to that Discord lounge. And when you go in there, it's not like the Wild West of Twitter where you might put in, an opinion out there and get attacked for it. Everyone's super, for the most part, everyone's super supportive of each other. I mean, sometimes there's arguments, but not many. And there's smart sports fans in there too.
Yep. Just like fans like you and me and Kacy and everybody, allchgo.com to get yourself to our website and into the diehard membership.
Shout out to Alexander. What's up, Alexander? He says, make it Tuesday or Wednesday, Carm, and I will be there working and at the happy hour.
Tuesday. Wednesday night is the Bulls opener. Tuesday it is. Kevin.
Let's go.
Let's
Wow.
go.
It's decided then.
I got my Monday nights, my tennis league quarterfinal.
Maybe we should have a tennis
Match.
Discord room. Be just Carmen there talking to himself.
Lawrence would be in there all night. He would love it. You'd love to talk some sitsy pasta, some
Why don't
joking.
we just have a singing channel?
I think that's a great idea too.
Songwriting channel. Can I just say that I will be at the best game in Illinois this weekend, and it is none of our teams.
It's a high
What
school
weird
football
event
game.
are you being a sideline
Mount Carmel
reporter for?
weird event. It's not weird. Mount Carmel versus Loyola.
There you go.
High school
Two-
football?
Teams.
Is that one
high school
versus
football.
two?
Yep, both 8-0. Why can't we get any of our teams to be 8-0?
Excellent point. I think that's great. And I know you're going to do a phenomenal job because you're the
Tune
best
into
sideline
what is that on
reporter.
WCIU?
Yes, it'll be on CW26.
CW26.
If you want to watch good high school football on Saturday,
Who's doing the play-by-play?
same guys who always do it.
Who are they?
Blaney.
Jim Blaney,
JB.
Jack McInerney,
Who was the guy?
Kenny,
Who was the guy
me,
that passed away or that you
Mark
had-
Kruger.
You didn't do these games?
He did some of them, yeah.
Yeah,
We
Mark
missed him a
Kruger.
lot. It's very sad. Unexpected. But
Blaney's the best.
your guy, Fitz, is going to be at the game.
Pat Fitzgerald?
Yeah, he's coaching at Loyola. His son's the quarterback. Ryan.
Tell him I say hello and that.
I think you got to break some news, Kacy.
I have to break news.
Get Fitz on the get Fitz on
I've
the
been-
air. Ask him the questions everyone wants to know.
I've been told we are not allowed to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So we are not.
I think Kevin meant get him on the CHGO Bear show next
Oh,
one.
yeah,
could do that too.
maybe, yeah. But we're not, I'm not, yeah. Nope. I've been told not allowed.
That's probably smart. So.
Okay, and wait, we
the
got to talk
kids.
about the receipts here. Carm kept receipts.
I don't feel bad about it at 9-8.
There's Kevin.
It's a lot better than
Kevin predicted 9-8 for the Bears season.
It's not.
Who else?
Glad I made that. That was.
You have the others?
What a payoff that was.
I thought you were gonna pull them all up. Everybody's.
There was others?
It's kind of funny to look at everybody's.
You didn't even.
Did you send all?
Did you do one on
No,
there?
because
Why
I was
not?
the one shooting it. I should have. I would have
I
said
just
maybe
got-
five
It's a
or six.
front-facing
Just got
camera.
that.
Yeah, no,
I would
didn't
have
send
said
them all.
maybe 5 or 6 wins.
And like 25 people in this office that could.
Put it
Film
up
me
one
doing
more
it.
time, Lawrence, because look at the confidence on the 9 and 8 picture. Look at the way it's a no brainer. 9 and 8, we got this.
Yeah, but Cody said what? 12 and what was Cody's?
Cody's was 12 and 5. We could do that next week. But look at that, 9 and 8, like nothing. Be lucky to get to 9 wins this year.
This like jackass Packers fan put it on Twitter and was like, "Oh, I got to show this to Packers Twitter." It's like focus on your own shit.
Yeah.
Focus on Jordan Love.
You jerk. Bear
Love
down,
it.
Chicago Bears. Damn it. We're coming. How about
All
that
right.
Packer video from over the weekend? The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This has been the Chicago Sports Podcast. Kevin Kaduk, Kacy Standohar, Mark Carman, and Lawrence Benedetto. We'll see you next Thursday.
Can't wait to be a GIF.
See you at the tailgate. See you at the takeovers. See you next week.
We all silly like the mayor.